from my apartments, and I have a video that I think is fairly important. It concerns smoke detectors, specifically the 10-year battery, lithium battery smoke detectors. I have identified a problem and a solution. Hopefully this will make some sense to some people, but let me start with a story. I rented this apartment to a little old lady. Her name was Anne. And one day I came over because of a clogged toilet. While I was here, as I normally do when I check my apartments, is I noticed the smoke detector was not on the wall. It was missing, and I said, Anne, what happened to the smoke detector? She said, oh, Bob, I'm so sorry. It was chirping, it was up in the ceiling, and I didn't know what to do, so I took a broom and I knocked it off. And I go, okay. Now, that's the problem. It's a problem for a lady that's 85 years old in an apartment like this with 9.5-foot ceilings. It could be a problem with somebody in a regular height ceiling who has a disability, or just happens to be somebody that doesn't have access to a ladder. What are you supposed to do with smoke detectors that start to chirp or go off and they're too high for you to reach? That was the problem. Now, I didn't want to just put up another smoke detector and run into this problem again. So I thought about it, and I thought about it. And it came to me sort of haphazardly, because I was doing some electric work at another building at the same time. So let me show you the solution to my problem. And it involves electric conduit wiring. It's actually called wire mold. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, it's called wire mold. So let me show you what I've done. First of all, this is wire mold. As you can see, it's meant for wiring on exterior walls, so you don't have to run wires into the walls. It's a two-piece. There's a shell on the outside, and there's a metal sleeve on the inside. That is the product that I'm using. Now, here is my solution. It is a smoke detector attached to a piece of wire mold, which is actually just flipped on its end, or flipped on its upside down. Let me show you in more detail. In order to access this smoke detector, which is 9 feet up, I simply pull down on that piece of wire mold. Now this is what I would call the shell of the wire mold, and it's simply attached to the wall. You can see it just screwed into the wall. And this is the smoke detector attached to what I would call the metal sleeve. I simply screwed a block of wood onto the sleeve and then screwed the plate for the smoke detector onto the block of wood. This way, it conforms to any battery-operated smoke detector. Unfortunately, it wouldn't work for hardwired smoke detectors. But for the 10-year lithium, which are very common, especially in these old houses that don't have up-to-date wiring, this is what I came up with. And it simply slides into this track Let's see if I can do this. There's enough friction. Sorry for being so cumbersome, but there's enough friction between the sleeve and the shell to hold it in place. That is what I've done. It's an easy, cheap solution. If you have parents, grandparents that are living by themselves, or anybody who needs access to a smoke detector but can't reach it, that's my solution. I would love to hear your comments, and that's the problem I've identified and a solution. Let me know your comments in the end. Thank you very much.